Taylor Swift's love affair with the UK as she launches new album here. Taylor Swift is in London for the Life of a Showgirl release day. But what is her long history with the UK? It's a great day for UK Swifties. Not only has Taylor Swift released her 12th album, The Life of a Showgirl, but she's in London for its launch. But why is the US singer here? And why does the UK mean so much to her? Swift has a long history with the UK, particularly in London. She has lived here for extended periods, written about the city in many of her songs, and dated British acting and music stars. But despite now being engaged to American football player Travis Kelce, the UK still has a special place in her heart, and as she told Capital Breakfast on her album launch day, "Many of my best friends are British." Taylor Swift in UK for the Life of a Showgirl release day. Swift doesn't do a lot of interviews, but BBC Radio 1's Greg James and the Capital Breakfast team were two of those lucky enough to grab a chat with her for the Life of a Showgirl's release, telling Capital's Jordan North and Sean Welby that being in London when the album dropped was no accident, as she explained that it had been her base during the European leg of her 2024 Eras tour. She wrote The Life of a Showgirl while on the tour to fuel the fatigue of a grueling schedule of live shows, and teamed up with previous collaborator, the Swedish producer Max Martin. "I was always based here, so when I wasn't going to Sweden, I would come to London," she said. Swift, known for her love of literary references in her songs, added, "You know, I love London. I love England. I love getting to travel outside of where I was from, to the place where most of my favorite writers wrote my favorite poems and things like that. I think you guys are the coolest. I love your sense of humor. The sarcasm, it's all good. That's why so many of my best friends are British. Surround myself with good people." The star is also set to appear on BBC One's The Graham Norton Show on Friday, the 3rd of October, a pre-recorded program where she spoke about writing the album during the Eras tour. "Last year on the tour, I was physically exhausted, sick and worn down. So to spark me up, I had the album as a secret passion project behind the scenes," she explained to Norton. "It stopped me hitting a wall." She will also be seen telling Norton about Kelce's proposal, which she called 10 out of 10, and the dream come true of buying back her entire back catalogue of music. Being in the UK on launch day could also be a savvy logistical move, as the time difference means that the album has already been well received by her UK fans, and she's had the chance to secure some friendly press before the US wakes up. Taylor Swift's London lyrics. Avid listeners to Swift's lyrics will know that the UK, and specifically London, have featured in many of her previous songs, notably her last album, The Tortured Poets Department, released in 2024 and packed with heartbreak hits about her split from British actor Joe Alwyn, included the song So Long, London. While it clearly references the breakup, it also includes lines about how annoyed she is that her memories of London are tainted by it. Swift is thought to have lived with Alwyn in a house near Hampstead Heath during their 6-year romance. And in So Long, London, she talks about him leaving her at the house by the heath. She finishes the song, "I'm just mad as hell 'cause I loved this place for so long." Previous songs had already referenced London a number of times, but most notably in London Boy from 2019's Lover album, where she wrote about the start of her relationship with Alwyn. "You know, I love a London boy. I enjoy walking Camden Market in the afternoon," she sings on the track. Alwyn collaborated with Swift on her 2020 albums, Folklore and Evermore, on which he holds some shared writing credits. Folklore has also been released with a bonus track, The Lakes, about the romance of the Lake District, where she sings, "Take me to the lakes, where all the poets went to die, and those Windermere peaks look like a perfect place to cry." British romances, collaborators, and best friends. Alwyn wasn't Swift's only UK romance, although it was the longest. She had previously had flings with Harry Styles, Calvin Harris, Tom Hiddleston, and Matty Healy, even being pictured at one point alongside Healy's mother, Loose Women star Denise Welch, who later made a Bob comment about Swift in an interview. Unsurprisingly, the considerable time she has spent in the UK over the years has led to her collaborating with numerous British stars. She is good friends with Ed Sheeran, with whom she worked on Everything Has Changed, Endgame, and The Joker and the Queen. She has also collaborated with Florence Welch, Snow Patrol's Gary Lightbody, and Zayn Malik. Swift made reference to her British best friends in her Capital Breakfast interview, and she is known to have been close with Cara Delevingne, Suki Waterhouse, Sophie Turner, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge for years. More in entertainment, during her London dates on the Eras tour, Sheeran and Welsh both joined her on stage to perform their collaborations, and Waterhouse was one of her opening acts. Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl is out now. Taylor Swift reveals how Travis Kelce inspired new album in rare UK radio appearance. Taylor Swift has released 12th album The Life of a Showgirl, packed with tributes to her fiancé. Taylor Swift has said her new album, The Life of a Showgirl, is exactly where I am in my life, as she introduced 3 of its songs on Capitol Breakfast. The singer is in London for the day of her 12th studio album release and spoke about her fiancé, Travis Kelce, inspiring many of her songs, as well as revealing his favorite track. Swift had teased that it was a much cheerier album than the heartbreak songs on her previous release, The Tortured Poets Department, telling Kelce on his podcast about making it while on her Eras tour. This album is about what was going on behind the scenes in my inner life during this tour, which was so exuberant and electric and vibrant. As her fiancé described it as more upbeat, she replied, "Life is more upbeat." Speaking to London's Capitol Breakfast, Jordan North and Sean Welby on Friday, the 3rd of October, she said she was never been so excited about an album coming out. Usually, when you put out an album, you made it a year before, so your life can change a lot between when you make it and when you put it out. But with this album, it's exactly where I am at in my life. I'm in the exact spot I was when I made it, so it feels very accurate to my life experience right now, which feels kind of cool. Taylor Swift opens up on Travis Kelce's album Inspiration. She introduced the first track from her new album, The Fate of Ophelia, calling it a song I love so much. Talking about introducing it to her fans, she said, "I'm big on secrecy. I'm big on surprising the fans and rolling it out a specific way. It's weird to be making an album that you're so proud of, you're so obsessed with, and you can't talk about it with anybody. It's this secret, and then all of a sudden it's out in the world." Explaining more about the song's inspiration, which pays tribute to her relationship with Kelce, she said, "It's all a play on Ophelia from Hamlet, who was driven mad by love. The play on that is, you saved me from that fate. You rescued me, and like meeting someone who took you away from that way your life could have gone. It's all very dramatic, obviously,